Welcome back, everybody. It's your time to add up on the EdUp Experience podcast, where we make education your business. This is Dr. Joe Salustio here on the very final podcast of Ellucian Live 2025 in sunny Orlando, Florida. We have been podcasting like crazy. Co-founder of the EdUp Experience podcast, Elvin Freitas, is a producing machine. He is pumping out episodes literally 10 to 20 minutes after we record them, and he's an unstoppable force. And speaking of unstoppable forces, I have two people with me that have won an Impact Award at Ellucian for Student First, their Student First Impact. I've got Vincent and Heather from Fayetteville State University. What's up, you guys? How are you?
We're doing pretty good. Thank you for having us.
Heather, how are you?
Doing great.
Yeah? How's your conference been so far? Let's start with that.
So far, it's been pretty amazing. Yesterday, we wrapped up our session where we spoke about CampusLogic products, and we had a really good turnout, and just looking forward to wrapping it up, seeing
I mean, it was probably standing room only if you guys were in there. I mean, but people want, you know what, as important as financial aid is sometimes, when you go and you talk about what financial aid people do, it's less understood. It's very, very, very hard and technical work. Wouldn't you say, Heather?
Yeah, we had a couple of people that were in there that don't envy financial aid now that they've seen some sessions and what we deal with. But it was kind of funny just to hear, just because for us it's nothing because we've been doing it for so long, but it is pretty complicated.
Well, to think about this. You guys win an award for your Student First, for being Student First. Roll the clock back about a year and a half ago, and we go through FAFSA simplification, which really wasn't that simple, was it? How'd you guys make it through? Was it mindset? Was it attitude? Was it luck? What was it that got you guys through it?
It was pretty much we just kept our eye on the goal, where we wanted to be, because different issues kept coming up on the federal level, and then we would have to troubleshoot them and figure out how we could survive it and keep moving forward so that our students were impacted as little as possible. And we still tried to make it a smooth transition while we were implementing this product.
V-Dog, you asked me to call you. No, you didn't ask me to call you that, but I think I just decided to call you. Vinny, tell me about your mindset and how you make it through.
So I think.
And do you mind if I call you V-Dog? No.
V-Dog's good.
I like it.
All right, cool. So Heather pretty much hit it on the head. We pushed through. I think as financial aid administrators, we have this tough skin to where we've been through so much over the last decade. And then FAFSA simplification was just, hopefully, that was the worst that we'll see. But also, too, from our office, we dealt with high turnover at that time as well.
Yeah.
And to be able to push through and still focus on the students and get processes in place to make sure the students were able to get packaged in a timely manner was a great experience for the office.
Yeah, you actually think about, you knew you were going to have some turnover and that people are going to leave because of the stress, but actually hiring people into that to replace those jobs is a whole nother thing because you're coming into chaos. That's a whole nother mindset. But now you guys win a Student First Award. Tell me what you won the award for. And tell our audience what you won it for.
Okay. So we won the award for our implementation of the Student Financial Success Suite. So we utilize Campus Communicator, where we were able to redesign our award letter. We actually were recognized by NASFR for the simplicity of the award letter. We also implemented Scholarship Universe, which that was amazing because through Scholarship Universe, we got our scholarship offers out about 3 months ahead of schedule, which was amazing. Even on the user-friendly side, students really liked the product as well as staff. We also use our clear costs, which is the net price calculator, and then we use student forms. So just overall, it's a very simplistic product. Everything's branded the same way, so students recognize when we send out communications, hey, this is coming from the financial aid office. Let's see what's going on.
Anything you want to add, Heather?
No, I mean, it is pretty seamless for the students. When they go in, they don't even realize that they're different products necessarily, because we've got them all merged into one single sign-on for them. So
this is a really important topic, simplicity. Because an award letter, for whatever reason in higher education, we have in the past, and some institutions still do, have very complicated award letters where you can't understand the cost. The parent and the student, even if it's an adult student, is looking at this going, what am I actually paying? Why is this so hard? Everything else I buy is transparent except for higher education. And then you look at it from the enrollment side. When you're trying to get students in school, institutions will track, if they're tracking their metrics appropriately, how many students enrolled, how many students were packaged in financial aid, how fast did it take them to go from enrollment to package. Because if you work in higher ed, being packaged in financial aid and understanding the costs is a huge indicator of whether the student is going to start school or not. So it helps you with your forecasting, with your top-line revenue generation. The entire bit is based on or indicated by the simplicity of financial aid. What do you think?
No, totally agree. So that's
I knew you would.
And I think this last year also placed a big emphasis on the impact of financial aid. Without having award letters out early, that really affected the bottom line for schools, pushing back decision day and things of that nature. So being able to hit those targets are very key. And when we redesigned our award letter, what we did is we made that not only a financial aid award package, we made that an enrollment management tool. Because through our award letter, students can also pay their enrollment deposit, they can secure housing, they can schedule tours. Everything can be done from the award letter.
See, now you're talking, right? So now you understand the costs. Let me deposit. Let me get my room set. Let me get my housing situation set up. Now you've got a student who is solid, what we would call in higher ed solid, or wrapped up, or stitched in, actually is a way to put it, stitch in. Heather, you've been smiling the whole time I was talking about that process, and I want to know what was going through your mind.
It was just funny that you mentioned that how cost of attendance is so hard for people to understand. So now that we've got the new product, they can hover over things, get definitions. There's little quick videos next to the side because people don't want to read. They'll want to see a quick video. But we have a call center, basically a contact center that students initially, when they are asking questions. And the call center actually asked us if we could remove the cost of attendance because it's a call driver.
Yeah.
Even though we're getting less questions than the prior year when we didn't have it, we're like, no, we have to tell them what the cost is. It just worked with that. But it was just funny because they're like, can we please remove it? And like, no.
Of course, we're talking about the federal cost of attendance, and that's got 3 calculation points, and it tells you how much the education is if you consider transportation and housing and all these things. Even if you don't use any of those things, you have this federal cost of attendance. That's why it's so confusing for students because what am I actually what is this thing? Why is it so much more than I thought it would be? The difference between direct
and indirect costs, too, is like, okay, what's my bill actually going to be is what they really want to know.
Right. What else do you guys want to say about Fayetteville State University? First of all, tell us what you do and who you serve, and then anything else that we should know from the audience about Fayetteville State.
Okay. So my name is Vincent Harris, Jr. I am the Executive Director of Scholarships and Financial Aid. Fayetteville State University is a medium-sized HBCU in North Carolina. We just hit record enrollment for the fall of
Congratulations.
Thank you. 7107. People are surprised when we talk about the cost, but for an in-state student, they only pay $500 tuition full-time. Out-of-state, $2,500. So that's $1,000 or $5,000 for the year.
Wow.
We're very affordable, but the academic rigor that our students go through is still top-notch. We have one of the best nursing schools within the state. We have one of the top MBA programs within the state. And we're just really, the award that we won really speaks to FSU. Our motto is deeds, not words, res non verba, and we really put the student first, and that was the catalyst for the products that we implemented, and it's just very encouraging to see that the work has been received very well.
You want to add anything, Heather?
Sure. I'm Heather Adner, the Associate Director of
Did I never let you guys introduce yourselves?
No, we didn't.
Oh, keep going.
And I handle... So I back up Vincent in the office, but I also am kind of the lead on all of our IT stuff and everything. And I don't know that us getting the award and being able to put the products and stuff in so smoothly would have been possible without the support of our administration and the IT. So, I mean, it was really our administration that just like kept encouraging us, like, you can do it, keep going, especially with all the FAFSA simplification stuff. So we just kept them in the loop and made sure they know this is what's going on, this is where we are, and we just always had their full support.
I think winning a Student First Award, it says a lot about the way you really show up. It's not just, it can be just words. Saying we're Student First and actually being Student First, I believe, are 2 very, very different things. And, I think about myself as a consumer, and you would at Fayetteville State. Would I want to go through a complicated process? No. Why do we put a student through a complicated process? Good question. Let's change it. Let's make it simple. Right, that's the mindset we have to have in higher education. Congratulations to you both, even though I didn't let you introduce yourselves at the beginning of the episode. It's been a long conference, you guys. Speaking of which, what are your takeaways from eLive 2025? Heather, what have you enjoyed it, and what do you think you're taking away back to Fayetteville State?
Well, we got some pretty good information and ideas to improve processes that we already have to make them even better. It was also our first time presenting at eLive because we did a session on basically what we won the award for. So those worked out perfectly together. And we made a lot of more contacts.
That's awesome. Vincent?
Yeah, so I would agree with Heather. Being able to meet with our colleagues and sharing best practices, having people in our session that we may have spoke to and haven't met in person, that's really great. And just seeing how others use the same technologies that we use and being able to bring that back to Fayetteville and even improve the process even more.
Well, I thank you guys for coming by. I hope you had a great conference. I hope you're not too tired. We got Deion Sanders speaking this morning, which I think will excite the crowd. If I had to put money on it, I would say it's going to be pretty exciting. I'm more excited about meeting you two and hearing about the award. Anybody who wins awards for being student first is number one in my book. Congratulations to you guys. Congratulations to from the EdUp Experience. And Ellucian.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Vincent and Heather from Fayetteville State, you've just EdUp'd.